Hello everyone, welcome to our case study about Netflix. How does this movie end? This is the case study at the end of chapter 9. Our presentation will be divided into four parts. First of all, a summary on the case study as well as the company itself, Netflix. Second of all is a Q&A session on the case study. Third of all are some of our solutions, some of our suggestions for Netflix to solve its own problem. And finally is Netflix application for Vietnamese business. A summary on the case study as well as the company itself. Netflix was founded by two Silicon Valley entrepreneurs. It started as a mail order renting DVDs of older Hollywood movies using the postal system. In 2000, it switched to subscription model where customers could receive DVDs on a regular basis for a monthly fee. In 2007, it began a video-on-demand streaming services of movies while still retaining a DVD subscription business. In 2016, Netflix is the largest player in the movie and TV series streaming market, with a revenue rocketing in these few recent years. Although its shares have increased by over 8,000% since it first went public in 2002, its profit margin is similarly disappointing, which raises concerns about the company's future. That is the end of our summary on the case study.
Now I will answer the four questions in the case study. First question is, what are three challenges that Netflix faces? First off, the capital cost of providing content is very high for companies in the streaming industry. But for Netflix, is it even higher, since they also invest and create their own Netflix original show. This has proved to be a problem for Netflix, since the cost of content is sometimes growing faster than revenue. Another risk that comes with creating their own content is that Netflix uses algorithms to predict audience interest, which creates a mixed result. Lastly, the competition in this industry is very tough, and especially when you are competing against Google and Apple on a technological level and on a content creation basis against HBO and Amazon. Next question is, what are the key elements of Netflix strategy today? To remain successful, Netflix today rely on four strategies that they need to keep up with. The first one is that Netflix had to try good deal with Comcast and other ISP to develop high-speed internet service to its customers in order to keep their position. Secondly, Netflix had made it one of their strategies to develop and produce their own content in an attempt to decrease the cost of content. However, the capital investment for developing their own content is very high, but it can prove to profitable in the long run, as they don't have to pay any royalty to an external party. Thirdly, Netflix needs to keep expand their service in new countries where there are opportunity for growth and increased profits. Lastly, Netflix are trying to expand their offering of high-quality TV series to catch new customers. The third question is, what are the implications of Netflix new strategy for the cable television system like Comcast and Time Warner? Netflix new strategy to produce its own content is a major threat to traditional cable providers. Firstly, Netflix forced traditional cable providers to retreat from its bundling practices, which is based on an entirely different technology and business model, namely selling expensive bundles of hundreds of TV channels that few people watch, then raising monthly fee faster than the rate of inflation by its large national audience of streamers, which enable it to make friends in Hollywood and New York who traces the distribution window so that internet distributors like Netflix get the same treatment as cable system by allowing them to show the latest movie and show at about the same time as cable system. Traditional cable providers then have to offer customers the ability to select just those channels they actually watch. Cable industry revenue plunged as a result. Then Netflix go on to challenge the cable network by producing its own original TV drama and add comedy and documentary to the mix. Last question, why is Netflix in competition with Apple, Amazon, and Google? And what change does Netflix bring to the market? Along with Google, Amazon, and Apple, Netflix provides a substitute product to traditional TV by giving consumers access to movies and series if they have internet. The trend of Netflix lies within their algorithm to give recommendations to their customers finding new and old movies and series, as well as their ability to market themselves, which has given them extremely good brand recognition on a global scale. Netflix are differentiated from their competitors by their ability to develop and produce their own original content. Now that is the end of my part. Next part is the solution for the case study.
We have put forward 3 suggestions for Netflix to solve their problem in order to increase their profitability. First of all, Netflix should focus more on producing their own original content despite the high cost because of the following reasons. First of all, over the years, we have witnessed a boom in popularity among Netflix original series and movies, such as Sex Education or 13 Reasons Why, signaling the company's own ability to understand audience preference and produce films accordingly. So we can see that producing original content is not as risky as before, since Netflix is more experienced. Given the high cost, this is still a wise investment. The second reason is an external one. Many film production companies are also beginning to have their own streaming platforms like HBO Now or Disney Plus, which makes it impossible for Netflix to buy their content. The second suggestion is that since competition is inevitable due to the availability of technology, Netflix should revise the policy concerning payment and accessibilities of each account. We are all familiar with the parasite situation, which caused Netflix to lose billions a year because they allow people to share a Netflix account that can be accessed through any device at any time. Our third suggestion is that Netflix should focus more on the foreign market. It is a booming field that Netflix should try to exploit, since competition there is rare or non-existent, like Vietnam market as an example. And finally, after the case study, we have deduced some application for Vietnamese businesses. And since there has not been any streaming company in Vietnam, Netflix coming of age story is not quite applicable. However, there are still some generalized lessons to take away that we hope Vietnamese businesses can, in one way or another, find useful for their ventures. First of all, develop a well-rounded strategy that focuses not only on the field of the company, but also on other important and indispensable part of life like technology. Netflix started out as a mailing company. It focused as characteristic as a technology, but it has gone on to the field of content producing, and so that is something we hope Vietnamese company can learn from and do the same. The second is building a database for customer preference is of other important for companies to effectively target their products at the right potential user or buyer. This is one of the cutting edge advantage that Netflix has over other companies because they have built a database over 10 years of customer preference. Thirdly, for distributors, dealing with major manufacturers of goods should be taken into much consideration, as we have witnessed from Netflix the ability to make friends with Hollywood and other New York companies. And finally, the Vietnamese ventures should make an attempt in developing original products, which we acknowledge is risky and expensive, but is one effective way to outweigh others. Um, and that is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.